What's up everyone, Kylie says now, welcome back to another video, and it is the biggest week in professional wrestling, the biggest weekend. It is WrestleMania week, it is WrestleMania weekend, and we've a lot of wrestling for us wrestling fans. It's a great time to, it's the greatest time of the year. Of course, last night we had GCW do Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 9, which was a great show. I watched that one live. You also had New Japan and Impact's show. You had a WrestleCon show that I didn't get around to watching yet. I didn't get around to watching either of those. The only one I got around to watching was Bloodsport. You also had a lot of other shows that are there that happened last night as well. Of course, tonight, Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, probably the show I'm looking forward to the most in terms of everything, including WrestleMania. Tanahashi, Daniel Garcia, Shibata, Wheeler Yuta, the Reach for the Sky ladder match, Claudio Kingston, Mark Briscoe, Joe. It's a stacked card. I'm excited for that. I was going to maybe do predictions for that, but I didn't get around to it. But I do want to give that a shout. In the same, I am so hyped for that show. Of course, we have George Janela's Spring Break, which again, the first Spring Break is actually what introduced me into GCW. I've watched every Spring Break. It's always one of the shows I look forward to the most Mania weekend. It's always one of the most enjoyable shows for me, Mania weekend. Excited for that. And of course, we have the Go Home episode of Friday Night SmackDown and the Hall of Fame. So if anything happens on SmackDown that builds to WrestleMania, of course, I won't have it in this video because I do plan on getting this video up before. So yeah, we're here for our WrestleMania 39 predictions. Before I get into my predictions, I want to say for my reactions, I'm not sure if I'm going to do two separate nights or if I just do one big reaction Monday. I'll see how I feel Sunday because I'll be up late watching the first night WrestleMania. So yeah, I'll see how I feel Monday or Sunday. I might just leave it and do one big reaction Monday. But either way, we'll still get a review out for both nights, whether it's as one video or two separate. So kicking things off on WrestleMania Saturday, of course we already know this match has been announced to open the show. John Cena versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. Bit of a, hasn't been the best build for this match. I'll be saying that for a lot of matches on this card. Cena was only there for 1 week. Maybe they could have done some pre-tapes and backstage promos with Cena. That 1 week he was there in Boston to build to it, but they didn't. Theory's kind of been carrying the build by himself. Should be a fun matchup though. I'm gonna go with Austin Theory to retain the US Championship. It is opening the show, so maybe they give it to Cena in a big stand off in a big way. It's just I don't know how long Cena's sticking around for. I don't know what his schedule is. Does he have any movies he has to go record and stuff? So just on the safe side, and again, it's Cena. He could just win it, do an open challenge on Sunday or on Monday, and then lose the belt there. But I want to take the belt off Theory just to have Cena drop it a day or two later. I continue with Theory. He has had an okay run. He won it in that good match at Survivor Series, that triple threat match, defended it inside that good Elimination Chamber match, and now here we are, Cena. And I feel like after the failed cash in on the US title and then having him win the US title anyway, a bit later, it was a bit of a weird decision, but they've kind of done a good job at rebuilding Austin Theory from that, and I continue building him up, continue with his momentum, and give him the win over John Cena. We're going to move on to the first of the WrestleMania Showcase tag team matches with the men's one. Braun Strowman and Ricochet, the Street versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. Again, this match is just a showcase match, whatever that means. It's not maybe on SmackDown or the pre-shows or something, they go, oh yeah, this is for #1 contenders shot at the tag titles, which is what I would do. Instead of doing a showcase, why not just do the Battle Royal instead of doing the Battle Royal on SmackDown? This literally just gave people on the card. Looking at the 4 teams in it, it should be a really good match though, even with all that being said. In terms of winners, I want to say Alpha Academy. I love the Alpha Academy, and I would want to see the Alpha Academy get some big wins. But they have the thing with maximum male models going on, so I can see Maxine Dupree and Mace and Mansoor coming down, distracted Otis, which leaves Gable alone. And one of the other teams then capitalise on that. Again, I'm a big fan of the Viking Raiders since they were a War Machine in Ring of Honor. I was a big fan of Hanson and Rowe, or well now Eric and Ivar. And like, I would love to see them kind of get something going there since coming up for the main roster. They've just been with like another team. They haven't really had anything big that I can think of. So I'd love to see them get Mania win. But I see them going with one of the face teams over Viking Raiders. Even though Viking Raiders win it and then go on to challenge for the tag titles, I would love to see. Then that kind of leaves Street Profits and Braun and Ricochet. Braun and Ricochet, they've actually been surprisingly good since they've been thrown together. You know, Braun being the big guy, Ricochet then just using him as a base to flip off. You know, they've been an entertaining team. Of course, Street Profits, we all know what they're about. One of the best teams in WWE, and that's why I'm going to go with them to get the win. I know a lot of people want to see them break up so Montez Ford can get a bit of a push. But you can still keep them together. Like, I hate how we always split teams. Like, I feel like the tag division, like, there only is a handful of teams. You know, Kingston and E are out, so you only have Xavier, so there's no New Day for the time being. You have the Usos, you have Sammy and Kevin, you have the 4 teams in this match, and that's about it, really. So, yeah, personally, I wouldn't really split any of these teams, or well, you can say Judgment Day and as well. But yeah. So I wouldn't like to see Street Profits break up. I would like to see Montez go get a bit of a singles push, but again, I wouldn't do that. Like, I'd keep them aligned, but just doing single stuff, if that makes sense. I wouldn't have a big breakup, and then like kind of like how they did New Day. You know, they just Big E kind of did his thing, but he was still a part of New Day. They were just on different shows. I wouldn't even put them on different shows. I just book them in singles matches. Like, you know, he already had Montez in the chamber. But yeah, I'm going to give Street Profits the win here. Big fan favourites. And again, yeah, it can be a good WrestleMania moment to give them the babyface win. The next match I'm going to move on to is Becky Lynch and Lita and Trish Stratus versus Damage Control. Man, I was so hyped when Damage Control debuted at SummerSlam. I thought, oh, they're going to do some big things together. Big fan of all 3 of these women. And then they kind of dropped the ball. They had Bayley feud with Bianca and lose for like 3 months straight. Then they had, you know, Io and Dakota win the tag belts and defend them twice on TV in 6 months. Like, they literally did nothing. So I would love to see Damage Control get a big Mania win. But I feel like we're kind of coming towards the end of Damage Control. And instead of being like some big thing, I feel like we're going to look back on Damage Control and be like, they could have done so much more. Becky, Lee, and Trish, on the other hand, there's rumours going around that maybe leading into SummerSlam, it's going to be Trish turning heel and going against Becky. Do we do that here? Maybe maybe we start the jealous best friend angle where, you know, her bestie is Lita, and she's like, I should have been the one to win the tag team titles with her. You know, you could tell that story. Do they do that turn at Mania? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Lita, Trish, and Becky get the win over Damage Control. Because, you know, Damage Control, they've kind of been... not really much tension between the group, but, you know, Bayley's been accepting matches that Dakota and Io haven't really been happy about. You know, it was Bayley that accepted the match where they lost the tag belts. It was Bayley that accepted the match for its 6-woman match at WrestleMania, and, you know, Io and Dakota were like, we don't really want to do this. But yeah, so I feel like they'll lose, and then maybe that will start the turn on Io and Dakota on Bayley. Whether they do that here or post or Raw after Mania, or maybe slowly build to it a bit more. I see that being the direction they take rather than starting to build to Trish and Becky right now. I feel like that's going to go longer throughout the summer. So And again, you have to wonder, will Trish be there every week throughout the summer, or will she just be here for every now and again? See, I feel like that would be the like slow build to it. A match next up that I hate to admit, but it's probably going to be one of the best matches of WrestleMania this weekend, and it is Logan Paul versus Seth freaking Rollins. I hate how good Logan Paul is at wrestling. You know, he's done some impressive stuff. Like, he's still not the greatest. He can do some impressive moves and like the spots at the Rumble, but he still just kind of needs to get the fundamentals down a bit more before he can be like a like serious like champion, like even like mid-card champion. I don't think he's ready for that yet. And also, I believe his contract is up at like WrestleMania is the last date. Whether or not they re-sign him, which they probably will because of how good he has been and the reactions he has been getting, I think they'd be silly not to try re-sign Logan. It's whether or not Logan wants to, but he's been doing it for like a year already, so why wouldn't he? So does he beat Seth? I don't. Seth deserves the win. He's been so good lately. He's gotten over as a face with the. And, you know, the crowd keeps singing this song. And Seth Rollins deserves to be in the main event scene. He has been for so long. You know, he's had his moments, you know, he cashed in at 31. He had that great run. Sadly, I was in Dublin the night he got injured. And, of course, he had to relinquish it. Came back, Money in the Bank, beats Roman. Then Ambrose cashes in. You know, he has a good run with the IC title. Then, of course, wins the Rumble, beats Brock for the Universal Championship at Mania. But I feel like he's never been established as a top guy, which he deserves to be. And I think he should get that big Mania win over Logan. But I think Logan gets it. Maybe by like interference by the Miz, since the Miz is the host of WrestleMania or something. But yeah, as much as I'd love to see Seth get the win, I think Logan will. So what, we have 3 matches left. We're going to move on to the SmackDown Women's Championship match, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. This is one some people think it's been talked about as a possible main event. I'm saving what I want to be main event to last. You can probably guess it. But yeah, Rhea Ripley has to win this. Like, not against Charlotte. I do enjoy Charlotte. She doesn't work as a babyface. Rhea deserves it. Rhea's been awesome. Judgment Day been literally after Bloodline stuff. Judgment Day has been my favorite thing. You know, while the Bloodline was just doing stuff on SmackDown, Judgment Day was the only reason I'd watch Raw. For Rhea, for Dom, you know, Big Baller guy as well. Always have been. Priest is good as well. So I'd love to see that group get big showing at Mania in their matches, which, spoiler alert, I think they will. So yeah, and I think Rhea deserves to be Charlotte. Get her win back from WrestleMania 36 when Charlotte beat her for the NXT title. I'd be really disappointed if they did have Charlotte win. I think it's Rhea's time. And I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, Rhea's kind of coming in as babyface, and like they should just fully turn it. No, don't split her from Judgment Day. Don't turn her. Just let her keep doing what she's doing. If she gets over and starts getting reactions, she starts getting positive reactions. But I wouldn't change the character, because the character that she is doing is why she's getting those reactions. You know that? Because like, I know, I feel like Rhea is someone people have always liked, or at least I've liked, and I don't know, I just feel like as a clean-cut babyface, it didn't really work last time. Maybe that was just bad booking. But yeah, I wouldn't split her from Judgment Day. Just keep her doing what she's doing. Maybe if she starts to get over, start booking her against heels and start getting good reactions. But I won't split her. Because a lot of the reason why she is getting those reactions is because of what she's doing on TV. And hopefully she leaves WrestleMania SmackDown Women's Champion. Then we have another match featuring a Judgment Day member. Probably the second match that I'm looking for the most. The second most invested I am in a match. part of the main event of this show that I will talk about. Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio, the build for this has been good. You know, of course, Dom has turned on Rey at Cash the Castle and joined the Judgment Day, and he's kind of been begging his dad for this match, trying to goat Rey in, trying to get him to accept this match, and finally Rey snapped, hit Dom, which got a big reaction, which shows how well they've built to this match. And now at WrestleMania, it will be Dom, it will be Rey, and I'm going with Dominic Mysterio, ex-con Dom, to beat his dad, Rey Mysterio. I know a lot of people will probably say Rey, but Dominic's been, like I said, Dominic is the main reason I enjoyed the Judgment Day so much. Dominic is so good since he started doing this like ex-con Dom stuff. It's been great TV. And I'd give Dom the win. I'd have him like cheat his way, you know, maybe have Damian Priest try get involved, maybe Balor, since he's not involved on this night of Mania, maybe you could have him get involved. Then you could have maybe like Santos Escobar and Legado fight him off, which, you know, kind of allows an opening for Dom to like hit distracted Rey for like a light cheat and steal his way Eddie Guerrero style to a victory. So yeah, I'm going Dominic Mysterio to get the big win over his dad Rey. And like, this has been a match that they've been building really since September and the turn, but I don't see this being a one and done. I feel like this is something they'll revisit. Again, I don't see this being like a, okay, this is it and we're done. Maybe they'll like cool it off for a couple of months. Okay, we'll have this match and then pick it up again when it's time in like 6 months, and not like go back to back with it. But yeah, I feel like this won't just be it for Rey and Dom. So yeah, I'm going Dominic Mysterio to get the win. And my list of matches is gone off my screen, but I know what the last match that we've left to talk about for night one of WrestleMania is, and that is what showed main event WrestleMania. It's the hottest story going into WrestleMania. It's the match I'm most invested in going into WrestleMania. It is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, for the undisputed tag team championships. And it's got to be Sami and Kevin, right? If they have Sami Zayn lose the Universal title match at Elimination Chamber, then lose the tag team match to the Usos, what was the point? I would be furious. Sami and Kevin have to win this. This match will be so good. The story going in has been so good. You got 4 fantastic workers. Usos, one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Sami and Kevin, 2 of the greatest workers of all time. This will be great. The emotion between, you know, Sami and Jay staring off in the ring and all this. I'm so hyped for this match, and I want Sami and Kevin to win, and I'm going to predict Sami and Kevin to win. Now let's move on to Sunday and start with the women's showcase match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda and Shayna Baszler versus Sonya and Chelsea Green. This match has been like weird, a lot of thrown together teams, and then you have Ronda and Shayna, which is why I'm going for them to win. I feel like they're the only real established team. I know Liv and Raquel have done some stuff together. Sonya, I feel like, is a replacement for Carmella, because they were building Carmella and Chelsea as a team. Then all of a sudden Carmella's gone and now Sonya's in. I don't know what's wrong with Carmella, if she's injured or something, but yeah, hopefully she's fine. But yeah, there's only one team that really should win this, and that is Ronda Rousey and Shayna. And it's Ronda Rousey. She's not going to lose anyway. Yeah, I can see them going on to challenge or maybe win the women's tag titles after Mania. I know there's rumours of them having that match at Mania, but of course that isn't how things played out. So yeah, I'm going Ronda and Shayna. Next up, Brock Lesnar versus Omos in a match. When it was announced, everyone was like, oh god, why are they doing this? But now, I thought they've built this. Okay, there was a hype package that they played like 2 weeks ago on Raw, and I was like, okay, they've got me in a bit. Like, I'm not really like that excited for it, but I'm like, okay, at least I'm interested in it now. I'm intrigued to see how this will go, because it'll either go as expected, which isn't great, or they'll surprise people and put on it's a solid match. Like, if this match is just okay, it exceeds expectations. So yeah, Brock looks like he's up for it. The way he was hitting those ropes on Raw, I feel like this is this could be surprisingly okay. Brock Lesnar would win this, isn't he? I'd love to see Omos get the win, Homo sapiens, but yeah, I know that's kind of been talked that Brock's contract is up at Mania, and there's talks if he resigns that he wins, if he loses, he's gone. But yeah, I think Brock will resign, and I think he will be Omos. I'd be surprised if Omos got the win here. Then we have Hell in a Cell match between Edge and Finn Balor. I almost skipped over this and moved on to the one after this, but yeah, we have Balor and the Demon Finn Balor and Edge. Of course, there's talk of Edge bringing in Gangrel and maybe even Christian, possibly. Even though he is under AEW contract, I've seen some stuff that's saying AEW may have allowed it for a Brood entrance. Of course, the Demon is back as well, and of course, not just the Demon's back. The old non-red Hell in a Cell structure's back. The silver, the grey, whatever you want to call it. Hell in a Cell is back. And I'm going for Finn Balor to get the win over Edge. I feel like it's time. Like, Edge is kind of, he got the win at Clash. Balor got the win the I Quit match. Edge eliminated him from the Rumble and got the win at Chamber. Like, it's the Demon come back. I know they did the last time we seen the Demon was the dumb stuff they did with Roman and the ropes and that. Just give my boy Balor the win. Edge doesn't need it. Balor kind of does. They haven't, like, he hasn't really been like doing anything other than this Edge feud for, it feels like, for the past 6 months. Just give my boy Balor the win and let him kind of like move on to something else and have this be it for this match. I know this match was originally slated for Royal Rumble, but Edge was busy doing other stuff, so that's why it got put off to Mania. Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. Probably going to end up being a banger, as Sheamus would say. Now I'm torn between Gunther and Sheamus. Gunther, if he holds it till September, he'll break the Honky Tonk Man's record, and I'm like, I'm not against that. Yeah. But Sheamus is Sheamus, and I want him to win that Intercontinental title so badly. And to do it at WrestleMania will be like a big moment, complete the Grand Slam. That is why I'm going to go with fella. I'm going with Sheamus, and I'm going to have him beat Drew McIntyre to win it, which will start a feud. Drew heel turn, start Drew and Sheamus feuding for the Intercontinental Championship, and allow Gunther to move up to the world title picture and go after that. You keep Gunther strong by not having him be the one to take the pin. Sheamus gets his big moment when the Intercontinental Championship, and we kind of get something fresh going for Drew with the heel turn post Mania and feud for the IC title, where then he can like win it down the line, maybe from Sheamus. Moving on to Bianca Belair versus Asuka, which again is another match that hasn't had the best of builds, but should be a good match either way. Most people I've seen, I think Bianca Belair should win this one because she's undefeated at WrestleMania. I think she's 2-0. She beat Sasha and she beat Becky. I think that's it. I might be missing. I don't think I'm missing one. But she's had the belt for a year already. She's beaten everyone already. If she beats Asuka here, who beats her then? Like, I feel like it's time for Bianca to drop the belt. I feel like it's gone, not stale, but I feel like it's it's getting there for me. I think it's time to freshen it up and give the belt to Asuka. Of course, you know, Asuka come back at the Rumble with that new character, had a good showing in the Chamber, and they've kind of cooled off on her then because the build to this hasn't been the best. And I feel like if you have Asuka lose, it's a lot more harmful than having Bianca lose. And I just really like Asuka, and like I said, Bianca's reign's kind of getting a bit So yeah, I'm going to go with Asuka to beat Bianca Belair and become the new Raw Women's Champion. And then main event, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, Undisputed Universal Championship. And I know what I just said, Bianca's reign after years kind of getting a bit stale, and Roman's had the belt for 3 years. And Cody, he's over. I like Cody, but I kind of want Roman to win. And I know it might be a bit controversial to people because everyone loves Cody Rhodes and all. But hear me out. Cody was plan C. He wasn't even plan B for Roman. First was The Rock. That didn't happen. They tried to get Austin. That didn't happen. So now it's Cody. The original plan for Cody was for the belts to be split and for him to face either Drew or Seth. He probably would have won that, granted, and that he would have got his big moment. But then on the other hand, if Roman had got Rock or Austin, he would have walked out of Mania as champion. Which is why I'm on the fence. And why I want Roman to win. Because I'm more invested in Roman Reigns and the Bloodline story than I am in Cody Rhodes. I like Cody Rhodes. I have liked Cody Rhodes even in AW when some people kind of start to turn on Cody. I still like Cody. I do still like Cody. But the whole, I'm winning the WWE Championship because I'm a Rhodes and no Rhodes is held for, isn't enough really to get me invested in that story. You could tell that exact same story you've told with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes with Baron Corbin. You know, he's an NXT guy, so you still have the stuff where he's like, oh, Dusty trained me and I was the son he wanted, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's the only real personal side they've got into this. Like, you could have told that with anyone from NXT. It doesn't have to be Roman Reigns. So, like, that's why I'm not really invested in that story. I feel like I'm more invested in seeing Jey Uso beat him. I was more invested in seeing Sami Zayn beat him at Elimination Chamber. So that's why I'm kind of like, what would the plan have been for Roman if they did go for Rock? What was the plan for Roman post-Mania? And who would then have been the one to dethrone Roman? Do I think now's the right time Cody Rhodes is the right person? Maybe. I'm not saying he's not. But I'm more intrigued in the what would they have done if they had have got The Rock? What would it be Jey Uso? Would it be at Sami Zayn? Like, I kind of want to find out. You can still, maybe it does hurt Cody losing, but you could still split the belts like the original plan was, not have Cody go win one, then say, okay, Raw needs a champion, we're unifying the WWE Universal Championship and we're bringing back the World Heavyweight Championship for Raw. Because apparently there's been a new belt design that has been greenlit by Triple H. So, or maybe they just put the belts back together. But if the original plan was to split them, why would you then unite them just to get one? Like, I'd split them back. And you could still have Cody win one of those. You could still have Cody like win that, have his run as champion and that top guy. And you could maybe have a tournament for that championship. Maybe that is what the winner of the King of the Ring gets. And you have Cody's stories like, I lost at WrestleMania, but I'm determined to finish my story. This is my redemption. Maybe, and like maybe you can still get him over. Because let's think back. A lot of people said it was time at Clash of the Castle. A lot of people said it was time at Elimination Chamber. A lot of people are saying it is the time and it is the right guy now. But the WWE have always gone and found that next guy. You know, they went from Drew to Sami. Sami now Cody. I'm like, I'm interested to see what that plan would have been if they had got Rock. Who would have been that one to beat Roman Reigns? Who would have beat the Tribal Chief? And like again, I know there's talk about Roman taking time off, but the report that I've seen is when he loses the belts. That could come at WrestleMania. And you know, of course, plans change. Like I said, Cody wasn't the original guy for Roman. They've changed plans, so maybe they, yeah, like, just because Roman was going to win doesn't mean he's going to win now. And you know, the person that the story they had in mind post Mania, maybe that's gone. But I really want to see that, what they would have done. Maybe again, like maybe it doesn't work as good as like this has, and we look back on it and it's like, I know that didn't work, that wasn't good. They should have just pulled the trigger on Cody. But like I said, I'm more invested in Roman and the Bloodline story than I am Cody Rhodes. So I'm kind of more invested in seeing what would have happened if it wasn't Cody and it was Rock, or it was Austin, or you know. With that being said, I do think it will be Cody. I just have a feeling it will be Cody. And again, I'm not against Cody. I think he deserves it. When he came back at WrestleMania, you know, the night after WrestleMania, he cut the promo saying, I want to be WWE champion. The same promo he's probably cut, like he's cut the same promo in the build to this, where he's like, my dad Dusty Rhodes never won the WWE championship, so I will. And I was like, as soon as he cut that promo, I was like, yeah, him and Roman's happening. It's inevitable for the belt. And you know, if Cody didn't get injured and, you know, Rock and Roman did happen, like, it'd be interesting to see where, like, that timeline. But Triple H's first WrestleMania, I think he's going to have a big ending, you know, send everyone home happy. And that is with Cody Rhodes winning. So I'm going to predict a Cody Rhodes win. But I would like to see a Roman win just to see what would happen post-Mania and who would be the next. Because like I said, original plans, if you're to believe the dirt sheets, was Cody going for one belt against either Drew or Seth, and Roman against Rock or Austin. But they both turned that down. And you know, if he's going up against a part-timer in Rock and Austin, he would have won. He would have walked out with the belt. So I'm intrigued. I kind of want to see if Roman win and see that play out. But if Cody does win, he wins, and I'm not going to sit here, cry and complain. Like, I'm happy either way. So yeah, that is my predictions for WrestleMania 39. Let me know in the comment section below what you think in the comment section below, especially when it comes to Roman and Cody. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one for my WrestleMania reactions.